Started. Hello everyone. Welcome to the Oceanic Cup 2026. We've got an amazing match going for you. We've got Drox versus Hayley in this one. This is going to be a really fun matchup. Even though it seems kind of one-sided in favor of Drox, Hayley has shown that she can perform plenty of upsets, especially on some of her comfort picks in the hard rock. So let's go ahead and see what the bans are for this stage. So for reference, these players have 4 maps in common from the round of 16, and they have 2 maps each. So Drox is winning Hidden 2 and Hard Rock 2, and then Hayley is winning Hidden 3 and Hard Rock 1. So looking at the rolls, it's looking like Drox is actually going to win the roll, so congratulations on your first ever roll win, Drox. Yeah, talking about Drox's pick, he decided to go with the first ban, I believe, which means that he gets the second pick. Now, if you are Drox, what do you ban into Hayley? So, taking a look at the maps in common, Hidden 3, Hard Rock 1, so more of those like gimmickier picks, but Hard Rock 1 also being a stream map from the round of 16. In quarterfinals, I believe that it is actually a tiebreaker, so it's more of a general consistency test, and it's actually going to be Drox banning the Nomad 5. I was not expecting that. Especially considering Drox basically got an FC on the DT3 speed map from last week. And if you're Hayley, what do you ban? Maybe a speed map, I want to say. And it's looking like it's going to be DT2 and DT3 banning into Drox, which I completely understand and is a very good ban. If you're Drox, his second ban, I have no idea what it's going to be, to be honest. Maybe a hard rock, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, taking a look at that hard rock 1, I can see this being a tiebreaker from OWC 2021 Robot Stop. I can see maybe like a Nomad 1, maybe a Hard Rock 2, and it's actually going to be Nomad 4, the second warning. Unfortunately, we're not going to see the custom map this match. And it's looking like Hayley's going to have the first pick. And I'm expecting something pretty technical, maybe like Hard Rock 3, Nomad 3, DT4, any of those I feel like could potentially be competitive. Yeah, I would say this map pool is pretty similar to the qualifiers map pool in terms of difficulty. Maybe a touch harder, I want to say, especially on those tapping maps. And taking a look at Hayley's wins, Hard Rock 2, she's winning 537k versus 356k. Let me see what else. Hidden 3 is pretty close, 324k, losing to 398k, and it's going to be the hidden 3 as the first pick, which is going to be Ryu Seigun, I believe. We've got a banger on our hands. Classic map and classic song. So that's very similar to that No Mod 4 that was just banned out, but a little bit more of a all-around tech map, I want to say. You don't even need to know. And it's looking like we're gonna get started. As the map gets loaded in, both players are in the lobby, and once we wait for Bancho, let's get started. Yeah, looking in the first 100 combo, nothing interesting is gonna happen, but there is this flow section, and Hayley gets the break, and Drox is holding. Yeah, and with that break, that's gonna put a big advantage towards Drox on this hidden 3. And we have another break coming out of Hayley's, but it's traded by Drox, so still advantage Drox with the 12,000 point score lead, but given it's the first 6 of the map, anything can realistically happen. But this is much harder than anything that both of these players did in the round of 16. Sitting at, I believe, a 7.5 or 7.6 star map pool, and once we get past this lag, it's looking like Drox is going to have a lead, albeit a small one. It's looking like the combos are going to be stabilized from this point on. But then Drox actually, never mind, that's a Bancho break. And then they both trade on that one pattern. Yeah, that pattern is really tough. And it's looking like they're both real breaks as Hayley's getting right back at 100 combo, and they're both breaking again. This map is really difficult. Yeah, if this is gonna keep happening for the remainder of the map, Drox has a 25k score lead, which seems like it's not really gonna go anywhere unless Hayley gets a really big combo, which she could do, but it's looking like it's not gonna happen now. She's really gonna have to lock in for the second half of this map in order to take this first point of hers. But it's looking like Hayley does have a combo lead right now, and the score gap, I believe, is going down, so it is getting closer. But she has to hold and full combo the rest of this map in order to take this point. It's a 16k point lead, and anything can happen. And she's holding. Getting up to 400 combo now. but she has to hold the rest of this map. And it's going down 4,000 points. But then that breaks, and I believe that's going to be the point secured for Drox, the break point on Hayley's first pick. Unfortunate ending, but what are you going to do? Yeah, unfortunately for the 5WC team captain, this is not going as planned. And Drox is going to take it with a break point by 2,000 points. Really, really close towards the ending, but unfortunately it is not enough. And if you're Drox, you just took a break point off of Hayley's first pick. You want to go straight into those mechanics, I believe. So, where you have the clear advantage over. That's going to be a break point. Hayley's saying that she's low rolling this first map, which, if this is her low roll, then that is just extremely unlucky on her part, unfortunately. But she's a really strong player, and she can go really far in the rest of this match if she puts her mind to it, which I think she can do. And it's going to be the hidden 2, so not going into mechanics at all, but going into, I believe this is a reading gimmick rhythm map, I want to say. This week, the hidden 2 is actually going to be an AR9 polyrhythm map with plenty of reading in it. So it's not the typical AR8 reading that most people are used to seeing in this hidden 2 slot, but something a little bit different. This is Blue Rat, and if you watched Corsace a couple of years ago, you would have seen this map in the grand finals in the no-mod pool. A couple years later, it's in hidden. And these players are gonna get started right away. I can see... I'm actually not sure what this is gonna... or what the outcome of this match is gonna be, but Drox is first pick, so it's gotta be Drox's favor, I want to say. But for this map, you really want to take a look at that accuracy, and at Hayley getting an 88% accuracy at the first part of this map, this is looking like it's going to be in trouble, but I guess both of them broke. Yeah, Drox with the lead based purely on accuracy, being at 95 versus 86. Yeah, this is definitely an AC game map. Yeah, with combos relatively even, we can clearly see the comfort level of both of these players. It's looking like both players are going to slowly build up their combo, which, if Drox has a 100k point lead now, purely based on accuracy, and as Hayley breaks again with Drox's 500 plus combo, and this lead is just going to keep going and going. It's going to be a very one-sided map, unfortunately, and taking a look at this, Drox is about to eclipse the 500k mark on this map, which is really, really impressive, might I add. For a map like this, Drox finally takes the break, but at 600k points and a 300k point lead, this one was gonna go in the favor of Drox very, very easily, and that is the breakpoint consolidated in favor of Drox. It's a 2-0. Now, if you're Hayley, you just lost your break point. You just lost Drox's first point in a pretty convincing manner. I would say, like, it's the Hard Rock 3 you definitely avoid because that's also a very rhythm-heavy map. I would say maybe like a mechanics or alt map might work. I'm actually not sure what type of map that you would want to pick if you are Hayley into Drox. It's looking like it's going to be the Nomad 2, tapping into Drox. I'm not sure how I feel about that pick, but at the same time, I'm not sure what other picks there are. I think Hard Rock 2 might be saving for later, but this is going to be Nomad 2, I believe. Not a custom map, we've got Imperialis. This week, the Nomad 2 is actually going to be a stream map, focusing a lot on flow aim, stamina, but one thing that Hayley is really good at is streams, I want to say. Judging based off of that Hard Rock 1 from last week. She literally took a breakpoint off of a secret box, so I can definitely see this pick working out. Yeah, but this is just a really dangerous pick, I want to say. Yeah, it's looking like both players are going to start with FCs for the first quarter of the map, but Drox breaks. That is Hayley's advantage. It's a 7k point lead right now, and it's growing and growing. But then Hayley breaks. Drox has a 180 point combo lead, and it's going over pretty slowly. But whoever gets the next break, it is currently Drox favored, but it's... Yeah, and then Drox is coming in with that combo lead, and finally takes the score lead. Then Drox breaks, and the score lead goes right back over to Hayley. Yeah, and going at 50k lead. We only have a quarter left in this map, and Hayley is shaking so badly. The same sort of shakes that we saw on that Hard Rock 1 from last week. And both of these players are really good at this map, but it's looking like Hayley's surpassing the 1k combo mark, and even despite all those nerfs, she has to hold for the rest of this map, and it's looking like that's exactly what she's going to do. Even if she breaks, I think that's not going to be enough. She is going to take a win on her second pick of Nomad 2, finally getting on the board in this matchup. What an exciting map. And finally getting on the board. So it's not going to be a sweep after all. Now that, I believe, would open up some of the tapping maps left, if there even is any. So I can see, like, DT4 maybe. I think DT1 is still probably Drox favored. Let me see. Nomad 1's definitely a toss-up. Nomad 3 is left over, which is more aim control. And it is going to be the Nomad 6 pick. If you're going to pick the Hidden 2 and win pretty decisively, then your next map is definitely going to be that Nomad 6. Which I believe is an AR edit of a free mod 2 from another tournament. I forget which one, but this one is going to have a lot of structural reading, a lot of overlaps, and it's going to be more like focused on that density. This is a fun map to play. And it's looking like the players are going to get started right away. Yeah. Yeah, you can see just how dense this map is on that AR8, I believe. And with the 1/3 section, both players are never mind. Drox is going to start off with the combo. And just taking a look at the accuracies, we've got 79% accuracy on Hayley versus 93. You can very clearly see how comfortable Drox is on this map compared to Hayley, and that is why he picked this in the first place. And Drox finally breaks, so unfortunately it's not going to get the full combo halfway through, but this looking like a really big blowout, almost as big as the Hidden 2 from earlier. And I'm sorry, I don't want to call this early, but Hayley is pretty much cooked on this map, from what I can tell, at least in terms of comfort. Like, Hayley's a great player, not the best reading player in the world, unfortunately, but Drox, he's gonna be doing really wonderful things on this map. 400k on this, and climbing, this is insane. It's a really difficult map, one of the hardest in the pool, and he's already cresting nearly 500k. Unfortunately gonna be just shy of it, but that's a very comfortable win for Drox, and he's actually going to get that 500k at the very ending. So well done to Drox on your second pick. So yeah. In terms of anything else, I would say like maybe like a Hard Rock 1 or Hard Rock 2. I could maybe see Hidden 1. I feel like that would be a pretty close map as well. I would probably avoid the DT pool if I were Hayley. Let me see. And it's going to be that Hard Rock 1. We've got Robot Stop. And everyone knows this map. And used so many times, starting in OWC 2021 as a tiebreaker. but this map goes over pretty much everything that you want it to. So mostly aim, pattern aim, awkward aim, slider aim. This is a really, really solid consistency test if you're Hayley, and I would say, I'm not sure who's better on the raw consistency style of this Hard Rock one, but I can see this going either way, especially if both players are comfortable with this map. And we're gonna go ahead and get started. We're already getting an early break out of Hayley, but Drox is holding on to that full combo. But this is a very, very long map, so Hayley's not out of it yet. Drox still has a ton of map to go. Then Drox has the break. So any combo advantage you can get as early on as possible would be absolutely pivotal for this point. And then Drox with the break again. And then both players trade on those next set of jumps. And then it's looking like Drox is a little bit more comfortable on that slider aim. Yeah, it's looking like neither player can get over 200 combo at any point. It's looking like a very, very difficult map on that Hard Rock. So finally at the easy part, you're gonna see a break, unfortunately. And Drox is looking like he's gonna come out with a lead of about 40k. Right as I say that, he breaks. And then both players are breaking. Yeah, this map is just barely over halfway done, and it's looking like Drox has a pretty comfortable 40k lead, and given the difficulty of everything and all the jump scare sliders, I want to say, it's looking like it's probably gonna be pretty relatively stable, because it seems like neither player can get a really big combo, but as I say that, Drox is pulling up on that 400 combo. But he breaks, unfortunately, and that's a very, very slight lead for Hayley. I don't know if it's going to be enough. She has to literally full combo the rest of this map in order to take this point. map, I would say, tests a lot more of your endurance than anything else. And both players can see each other's scores now at the break. It's 273k versus 301k. 28k in favor of Drox on that slow part, and once we get into the final Ki, it's looking like Drox is going to take another break point off of this Hard Rock 1. And on the final set of jumps, yeah, that's going to seal it in favor of Drox. Yeah, the 27k lead doesn't seem like the biggest lead in the world, but this map is so long and it's so solid, and that's going to be the break point in favor of Drox. So that's going to be a 4-1 lead going into your own pick. So that's a really, really scary position to be in if you are Hayley and if you are a Hayley fan or a 5WC fan. But Drox is going to have his own pick on the line, potentially his last pick if he wins it. And looking at his previous wins, we've got Hidden 3, Hidden 2, No Mod 6, Hard Rock 1. So he's definitely favored on all of those gimmicky maps, so maybe picking into like a Hard Rock 3 or a DT4. Those maps are both very favored given the circumstances, and yeah. I would probably say maybe like the most favor would be like either a Hard Rock 3 or DT4. And it's going to be that Hard Rock 3, the Niwashi map. Now, if you've seen this map before, this map it has ult, it has sliders, it's rhythm focused, it's a big accuracy check, and this is another one of those maps where you can take a look at both players' accuracy and see how comfortable each of those players are with this style of map. Now, I would say with this map in particular as well, even though AC is really important, this could also be a combo game map where the player with the lower AC could win based on having a higher combo overall. Will this happen in this match? I'm not sure. Let's find out. Yeah, right away we can see the accuracies of both players. 96% on this versus a 94. That being said, Hard Rock, I believe, is Hayley's best mod, so she can play this, and she's looking like she's able to, but Drox is just better right now. But then both players trade on that 1/3 pattern. And it's looking like the 15k lead in favor of Drox, which is going to stay there based purely on accuracy because the combos were pretty even besides that. But then Drox breaks and Hayley now has a 200 combo lead. But then now Hayley breaks, and it's looking like it's going to be more in favor of Drox. Even after that break, Drox has cemented a 40k lead earlier based pretty much entirely on accuracy, and taking a look at both of them, this is looking like what's going to decide this map, because those breakpoints on this map are pretty universal. Neither player can hit them, but yeah, as you can hear, this map is crazy in terms of rhythm. Then Hayley has another break, and unfortunately, that being 3/4 of the way through and Drox with a nearly 400 combo approaching, it's looking like it's going to be another point on Drox's pick. And Drox finally comes out with another break, but looking at the score lead, this is going to be another win for Drox. 81k lead, and it's gonna be put him on match point. And that's a 5-1 victory. Now, if you're Hayley, you are match point on your own pick, 5-1, and most other maps I wouldn't say are super favored. I would say her best maps, probably Hard Rock 2 is mentioned, Nomad 1, maybe a Hidden 1, but I feel like Hidden 1's going to be a big toss-up. But at that point, you might want to flip that coin and take your 50-50 chance. But it's going to be none of those. It's going to be Nomad 3, which is the alt map. So she must have something up her sleeve, because I think both players are pretty good at this alt skill set, looking at previous scores. I know both players did perform in the near like 500k range in qualifiers, Drox with the 500k and the Hayley with the 437k, so this is definitely a close match on paper, and I can see both players doing fairly well. But I'm not sure how I feel about this pick after losing another alt map in the Hard Rock pool. Even though they're different styles of maps, you have to be really careful about this pick, which I trust that she knows what she's doing. And we're gonna go ahead and get started on this map. At this point, you just want to pick maps that you're comfortable with, and starting off, it's looking like both players are going to full combo the first 1/8 of this map. Both players hit that cut stream. But then Hayley comes out with the first break, and Drox is holding. That is a 400k combo lead, and the score lead that is increasing. Now, as we get through the rest of this Ki section, this is a pretty long map, but Drox is still holding, and Hayley has another break going on. Yeah, but then Drox finally trades it at the very end, but then it's traded right back by Hayley, so we have got a 64k lead and a combo reset on both sides. So that favors Drox pretty heavily. And it looks like both players are finally getting a foothold on this map. Yeah, and as we get into the spinner section, we're not going to have a break, but it's going to be a little bit of an easier section as we get into the next ki. But then Drox finally gets a break, and Hayley's still holding. Never mind, she's not. But that still favors Drox, who's cemented its 78k score lead. Yeah, as we get into the last quarter of this map, we have an 81,000 point score lead, and it's looking like Drox is likely gonna take this point home and win this match, sending Hayley home. Yeah, as we get into the last eighth of this map does slow down a little bit, but then gets right back going, and with a 200 combo lead and a combo reset now, it's looking like Drox is gonna take this last point. Yeah, unfortunately, we're gonna end the Cinderella story of Hayley, but Drox is going to be the winner of this matchup, and we'll be facing the loser of, I believe, Pallor versus Cloppet. Wonderful, wonderful score from Drox. 460k on this. This is a really intense map, and even though it was fairly one-sided, this was a really, really interesting match to watch, and it's looking like we've got a winner. We can pull up the winner screen. There we go, perfect. So congratulations to Drox for winning this quarterfinals matchup in the losers bracket. Your prize is you'll be facing Pallor or Cloppet, depending on who wins that match. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for the next match, which I believe is going to be Secretbox versus Ozbert at 6 UTC.
ゃぐしゃになって後悔ばかりでそれでもまだ僕は行かなくちゃだからどこまでももっと遠くへたとえこれが飽きることない夜だったとしても願ったものが嘘でもどうしようもないほど僕を動かしてずっとずっと僕を動かして始まりの合図は何にも覚えてやしない気がつけばもうずっと走ってた泣きたくなるくらい人は不平等なんだと分かったよ現実は残酷だボロボロになってたまらなく孤独でそれでもまだ足は動くんだだからどこまでももっと遠くへたとえこれが飽きることない夜だったとしても願ったものが嘘でもどうしようもないほど僕を動かして大切な何かは知らぬ間にこぼれ落ちてた振り返ることもままならないまま足跡はもうだいぶ前から見ていない世界か不正解かもわからないこれが選んだものだそんなことわかってる多分ずっとそうやって前と But the truth, I got some kind of amnesia. You crept upon me, said you thought of me fondly. And finally, since we let go, you're ready to say hello. What do you hope to see coming to this place? Said you'd never call up. Now you're all up in my face, in my face, in my face, in my You're like a time traveler. You live to go backwards. You're like a time traveler, running from the future. Time traveler. Time traveler. Time traveler. Time traveler. This area you made restricted, off limits. Thought I would miss it before I ditched it, dismissed it. Yeah, I was timely, but I fall out.
I have a history of winning like ANZT, like the solo tournament, and I guess just having more tournament experience than a lot of the players. So I hope I win, but if I don't, I won't be upset because I'll be proud of whoever else beats me.
Who do you think are the strongest contenders beside yourself in the Oceanic Cup?
Definitely, Aknzx is the main one, I think. Zintex, Kyujin, Saiku, I think is quite underrated. I think there's a chance for him too. Pala, I think, are top 3, and I think those are the main ones, at least for me, like looking at it. And Cloppet as well.
How do you feel about Superior going into the year?
He's been improving a lot on his tech and like other skill sets in general, so I'm looking forward to him being able to play other stuff and being less nervous as well after playing an OC World Cup tends to give people a really good skill push in tournaments, so I think he'll be a lot better going into this year too.
What's one thing you think people underestimate about you as a player?
I don't know if I necessarily have much things people underestimate about me, but I think aim is a big one. I usually pick no mod 1s nowadays into a lot of people, whereas people like normally assume I'm not really that good at stuff like that. So probably just aim.
What advice would you give to players who are also trying to reach the top?
Yeah.
You heard it. You heard it. Just don't be straight.
No, the unironic answer for that is definitely when you're trying to improve, to enjoy the ride and actually like have fun. Because if you're tilted, your brain's not going to pick anything up. There's no point in grinding something that you don't like. So having fun while you're grinding is the main thing.
Do you have any goals for 2026 OC?
I want to win OC World Cup so bad, dude. I want to win so bad.
Same.
That's probably the big one, is to try and win that, but obviously like you can't just assume you're going to win. Just to keep playing and maintain my skill and keep pushing as far as I can. That's the main thing, and to keep enjoying the game.
Alright, welcome back everybody to the Oceanic Cup after a quick break from a nice matchup between Hayley and Drox. Here we have a winner's bracket matchup versus asecretbox, the first seed, the favorite to win the entire thing, I think from the opinions of most, up against ozbert, seed 8, who had a very, very good match against, funnily enough, Drox, the player we just saw last weekend. And will have to try to prove himself again, this time on a much harder pool against quite a fearsome opponent. Commentating this match is going to be myself, Vordy, and I'm joined once alongside, or not joined along, but by the same commentator here last time, Statlord. What are your thoughts here?
Thank you. This is a really, really interesting matchup. Secretbox obviously being the very, very clear winner, the favorite to win it all versus ozbert, who has actually been really on an up and up, actually being the best player in New Zealand at the time of qualifiers and round of 16. And this is looking like a really interesting matchup. I believe there are some maps that ozbert could win, but overall this is very box favored, especially for this SR.
Yeah, I mean, I think a big part of this is that star rating you mentioned. Box banning out that Hard Rock 2, very, very precise map. Probably not feeling too comfortable on it. I think Box especially, some of his bans will just be taking out the maps in the pool he's the least strong on, because he'll be able to play almost anything at this level, which is quite a big step up from the round of 16 pool. Some of these maps, you know, with basically everything in the 7-star range, some 8 stars, some of the gimmickier maps are really, really tough for their star rating. ozbert banning out the tapping, unsurprisingly. We have the Nomad 2 gone and the DT2 gone, so the stamina's out. And I mean, that's going to be one of Box's strongest skill sets as he rounds out the Hard Rock 1 ban. So both players banning out similar types of maps. And going into ozbert's first pick, which, what are we thinking here for ozbert? It's going to be very tough to pick against Box.
Yeah, so for ozbert, I think he's really good at some of those hidden maps, but his standout performances thus far on this tournament has been some of those tapping maps, but that's also Box's biggest strengths as well, so it's going to be a really tough first pick to predict.
Goes for that DT1. So interestingly enough, I'd have to check again. I feel like ozbert might have banned out the DT1 against Drox last weekend, despite having a very, ozbert very strong on the DT1 and qualifiers. Obviously very good at the skill sets. First pick set against Box. It's a 10.5 approach rating map, so pretty high up there. Pretty generic though, much more generic I think than last weekend. A lot of the maps in this pool I would describe as pretty, if you played the skill set, you're going to be familiar with all the kind of patterns you're seeing. Just very hard. It's very mechanically challenging. In this map routine, you might have been familiar with this song from the love map of this map set, or the song. Pretty basic, aim focused, have some bursts, have some streams, not too spaced though. Just a nice, raw mechanics test, and obviously the tough part for ozbert here, with any map he picks, is going to be Box is also pretty good at this stuff, but that's just what you have to deal with.
Yeah, you pretty much summed it up. This is a very, very generic map, I want to say, but I'm looking like Box is actually going to find the first break, and ozbert's going to come out with the lead on this map.
Nice early start here for ozbert. Has a tiny bit of knack deficit, but this won't matter much. A big factor with ozbert throughout last matchup against Drox, and just throughout his tournament history in general, he's a bit of a combo fiend. He's a bit of a combo demon. So dropping combo against him this early on a map that, honestly, he's going to be pretty capable of. He's looking really, really solid here. And is the type of player to kind of have these clutch scores. But Box, right behind if he finds a miss.
Yeah, absolutely. We're almost halfway through this first map, and it's looking like ozbert's gonna get a pretty comfortable lead of 70k, but with this map, and many A maps in particular, this is a very combo-centric map in here, and ozbert is gonna come with the break, and Box is gonna continue with that 500 combo, with that combo lead now.
Classic middle miss from ozbert as well, the worst spot in the map to miss for capping your score, as Box takes back the lead, gets a big chain 100 on the stream, but gets through it with the combo. is what matters at the end of the day. Now, with the score lead, big combo lead as well, as long as he can take this combo another 200 more, he's probably going to have this. And that miss was a slider break from Box, and on a map like this, it is honestly an uncharacteristic miss. But he's looking for the breakpoint here, and with that other break from ozbert, it pretty much seals it. Only a quarter of the map left to go.
Yeah, it's looking like it was looking pretty good for ozbert for the whole time until he finally broke, and it's looking like Box is also going to have another break towards the end, but it's not going to matter at all. We've got a 1,000 point lead in favor of Secret Box, and that's the first point, a break point in favor of Box.
Rough to start it out with a break point, but honestly, pretty good score. 570k with how hard this map pull is. Can be pretty happy with that score. One miss, I think the other break likely was a slider break. But Box, 725k. Tough to beat that one as he goes into his first pick here. And you know, if he wants to pick into tapping, you still have that No Mod 5. Obviously, No Mod 2 is banned, DT2 is banned. You still have No Mod 5 and DT3, which are higher BPM, which is less of a comfort zone for Box than the stamina. But especially something like that, No Mod 5 should still be well within his range. DT3 obviously being 300 BPM. But other than tapping, could go for some other stuff here.
It's actually going to be the DT4 this time. We've got Last Train at 25 o'clock. Very interesting choice, but if you're Box, this map, as far as I know, does not have a DT full combo on it, so it's definitely one of the harder maps in this pool, and if you are a Secret Box, you want to pick into those skill cap pips as much as you can, because Box, I believe, has a much higher skill cap than ozbert.
I do definitely agree with picking some of the harder maps. It's interesting you pick this because this is pretty unusual for a DT4. It is CS6, so leaning into some precision there as well. Did ban the Hard Rock 2, which was 7.5, but obviously 6 more in his comfort zone. Obviously, other than being a test of precision, you got a lot of these really difficult aim control sections that kind of jump out at you and can be really, really tough to combo through. ozbert having the early break, but won't matter too much. I think it's going to be a lot of those aim control sections that will really kill combos here.
You're absolutely right. And taking a look at those combos right now, we've got a pretty small combo lead for Box, but ozbert's holding his own in the first quarter of this map, and it's looking a whole lot closer than what you'd expect for a first pick from Box right now, but this could change at any moment. Like right now, for example, where ozbert has a break and it's going to be a Secret Box with the combo.
And this is the kind of map it's tough to really regain those combos as ozbert finds another break right after. Honestly held pretty admirably, recovering after that first break, but Box is still FCing, and as he said, I think this map has no DTFCs, and it, I guess, still won't. Box misses around the middle there, but still huge lead for him, 130k in the lead. ozbert struggling to regain any combo. And this is one of the things, man, this approach rating with this AR, not super common to see unless you're, obviously if you're a 3-mod player, you play AR11 at the CS, but it's unusual mix of settings for sure. You have to be a very particular type of player to be comfortable with a map like this. And ozbert just really struggling here to find anything, especially as some of the more aim control sections come out. That pattern, absolutely brutal. ozbert misses on it. Box, no combo going into it. This is likely wraps for this first pick at this point already.
Yeah, I would definitely agree, especially since ozbert keeps on finding the chain misses here and there. But yeah, with that AR, most of the time if you're playing on the Hard Rock, you're used to the AR-10 with the small circles, but this is, I believe, 10.3, so Box a little bit more comfortable on that higher AR, especially taking a look at those accuracies at 97 versus 92, I believe, and it's looking like a pretty done deal.
Really rough pattern Box got through. Aimed the end of that cut section right in the middle. Clearly practiced, prepared for that one. That's the kind of pattern if you're not ready for it, you're going to have a bad time. As Box ends with, I think, almost a doubled score line. Just like 400 score under it. but very, very strong first pick on one of the, honestly, more awkward maps in the pool. Very, very tough to get a big combo on this one. And missed around the middle as well, so it could have been even more. But going back to ozbert here, didn't have a good time on the DT1. Well, had a decent time, but Box obviously just played it better. Gotta try to find something else here to convert on.
Yeah, it's tough if you're ozbert because his strongest skill set in this tournament has been those tapping maps, but he double banned them, and he's going up against asecretbox, who is one of the best, if not the best tapping player left in this tournament. So maybe picking into a hidden could be useful, but Box is also really good at hidden, so I'm not sure what his next pick is going to be. It's going to be Nomad 4, actually, picking into that custom tech map.
Second warning. Goes for the tech, and yeah, it's going to just have to be picking into your strengths. Pretty demonic map, very, very cool background with the red eye just staring into your soul. Extra points if you play this map with background dim turned to 0. Get the real test of nerves here. I would say pretty expected kind of tech map, just really, really difficult, obviously, as all the maps are at this stage.
Yeah, I believe this is the first custom map of this quarterfinals map pool, and it's looking like we're going to get straight into it.
And I do kind of like the strategy here. It's going to be very tough to out-act asecretbox on pretty much anything. He's a very, very good accuracy player, so if you want to beat him on a point, you're going to have to get him on combo. It's something ozbert is good at doing. And this is the type of map you can just get a miss anywhere, just how tech maps at this difficulty are. Really don't have much free combo outside of something like the intro here. All the cuts can absolutely destroy you as we get into the meat of the map. So far, players not having struggles, but as I said, with a map like this, you can just break on any of these aim control sections, and any of the sliders as well. As Box, first to break, and that gives ozbert some room here to make some magic happen.
Yeah, this is the first quarter of the map, but maybe this is a tactical miss from Box to get less nervous, but ozbert is holding onto these really, really tough aim control slider sections. I mean, ozbert is a really good tech player, but Box breaks again. So combo lead in favor of ozbert again.
And that second miss is the big one, because now he's going to be so far behind on recoveries. ozbert is just crushing these sections a little bit longer, and I think he might get into a quiet part, but he's through the halfway point now, and does, unfortunately, can find a slider break. Man, right as we have a bit of free combo here with Box once again. Oh wait, no, that's a Bancho! That's a Bancho, he's holding! Oh my goodness, ozbert is absolutely crushing it here. Not even far behind on the accuracy. Does mess up on that cut doubles in the top left, but he already has such a big lead, over 100k scored. Box is going to have a run at this ending to have a chance to take things back.
Yeah, absolutely. Taking a look at the combos, Box does have a little bit of a lead, but ozbert has cemented himself a 92,000 point lead right now, and it's looking like he's planning to continue that as he hits more and more of those really difficult aim control techie sections. He finally finds a break, but Box is holding, so this might get really interesting really quickly.
There is a chance here now for Box. A quarter of the map left. Does find a miss, though. I think that was 100% potential for a comeback here, but now as long as ozbert holds it together, the remaining section of the map, he should have this one. Not a miss here, but still 50k. I don't think Drox has enough time.
Yeah, I would agree. I think this is going to be an ozbert win. Even after this break, I don't think it's going to be enough. The lead is 33k and decreasing, but yeah, that's going to be ozbert's first win, I believe. And it ended up being really close towards the end, but at the end of the day, that early combo really, really paid dividends on ozbert's win for his second pick. And it's going to
And
be
this-
a hidden 3 next pick. Really interesting strategy after directly losing that Nomad 4.
You're getting right into the other most tech-heavy map of the pool. Yeah, no sweep against the Seed 1. Big point for ozbert as he gets a big, massive combo to start the map. But here we go, Ryusei Gun, a very, very classic map. I think this is a beloved map by a lot of players. Been pulled in tournaments a couple times, but yeah, interesting to go right into this after just losing the tech, but maybe just low rolled, obviously probably feeling better as well. This is a different kind of tech map. I would say it's more spiky in nature. It's less consistent than the map we just saw. Has some more flow aim heavy sections as well, some big streams. But yeah, I mean, if you're familiar with this map as well, a couple of slider ticks that you gotta be prepared for to hit.
Absolutely. And we're gonna have to wait until a secret box has a break on the very first pick, but it's matched by ozbert.
Big miss by ozbert on that flowing section. Box now recovering pretty well, and ozbert finding a lot of struggles here, dropping a lot of accuracy. That has caused his score to kind of get tanked. And this is the type of map, just with no mod, it's already so uncomfortable, so difficult to combo, much harder than Box is making it look right now, but Hidden just adds a wrinkle to it. You have to be so strong on this kind of tech. And his Box now recovered very well, very good accuracy, and that accuracy is almost more impressive than anything else in a map like this.
Yeah, taking a look at the 99.2% accuracy on this map, Ryusei Gun. I don't even know how that's possible, but I guess Box is just doing Box things. We questioned this pick at the very beginning, directly after losing that Nomad 4, but I think it was just a low roll from Box, because he's really, really comfortable on this map.
I think he did mention after the Nomad 4 that it was a bottom local. Seems to might have been the case, as he's absolutely crushing this pick right now. ozbert struggling to find any combo, and I cannot blame him too much how difficult this map is. In Box, this is a long map as well. This is one of the longer picks in the pool, over 4 minutes, so a pretty big test of consistency as well. Not even at the halfway point. Box is looking at home, at peace, unbelievably comfortable on a map that is extremely uncomfortable to play.
Yeah, as we get towards the 1000 combo mark for a secret box, ozbert just cannot find a foothold on anything, so... but never mind, he breaks.
Yeah, I mean, that stream is just like, I don't know. I don't know who is good enough to consistently hit that like every time. It feels like a little bit of a gamble with the acceleration at the end with the hidden. But I don't really think that this matters. Box is already 230k in the lead. He's almost tripling ozbert's score right now. So the rest of the map, probably just get to enjoy.
Yeah, we're heading up on the slow section, and we've got a 244,000 point lead in favor of a secret box right now, and it's looking like it's gonna stay there, so... Unfortunate for ozbert, but this is Box's pick. We questioned it at first, but this is going to be a really, really solid score from Box. Unfortunate that he missed in that accelerating stream, but otherwise it's a really, really solid score.
A very, very good score, regardless. I don't even think Box has I'm not sure if he submitted a hit-and-only score on this map. But maybe he should after this. Grind some locals. I think he seems like he could definitely see it as he's building another massive combo once again. Just that very, very early miss and the miss on that one pattern towards the middle. He's just cruising. ozbert, you know, trying his best. It's just, this is kind of the thing with this star rating increase from round of 16. especially on some of these more gimmickier maps. You're not going to find 16 people in Oceania who can play this kind of stuff at an extremely high level. But Box is certainly one of those players. Showing it here. Rounds it out with nice 570k. Extremely strong performance.
That is one of the best scores I've ever seen on this map. Ever. And that's going to be the point for Secret Box. It's going to be 3-1 now. So ozbert, I'm not sure what he's going to pick next. Maybe he knows better, but looking back, he's got like Nomad 1, 3, 5, and 6. And maybe it could be a reading map. Because I don't think he's going to pick DT3 into Box. Hard Rock 3, I don't think so either.
Yeah, I mean, Hard Rock 3 seems like the kind of thing maybe ozbert could combo game, but I still don't think he would. But you know, Hard Rock 1, Hard Rock 2 ban, but that's not necessarily a case of you know, ozbert necessarily being as comfortable on those maps as Box might be, just not wanting to necessarily play them. Since some of the Hard Rock 1, for example, was, I believe, ozbert's weakest performance in qualies. But you know, if he can make some magic like that Nomad 4 happen, he certainly has the capacity for some of these maps to get a pretty nuts combo. He's asking for his guaranteed amount of picks at this point, which I think is 2. Just for the rest of the match if he loses everything.
Yeah, it is two picks, and it's going to be that Nomad 6 picking into that reading. Very interesting strategy, but hopefully it pays off.
Whether or not it will pay off is likely a question of practice. This is a very, very gimmicky Nomad 6. Obviously AR8, the lowest AR map in the pool. Hidden 2 is actually AR9 instead of the typical AR8. But lots of perfect stacks, lots of really, really awkward rhythms that, unless you're really well practiced, probably will not be able to read them on the spot. Some couple of aim control sections, a little bit of cuts, and especially at 200 BPM as well for this AR8. Very, very dense, so just a brutal test of reading. And hopefully for ozbert, he picked this, so I assume he's pretty well practiced, but even saying that, I anticipate lots of breaks here for both players.
Absolutely. I just saw this match in the previous matchup between Drox and Hayley, and that map was absolutely brutal here. These two players are slightly better, but ozbert has a break at the very beginning, whereas it shouldn't be too prevalent, but with that break again, this is going to be a bit dangerous.
And not just the breaks, but really struggling to find a footing on the accuracy as Box, looking extremely well prepped on this introduction, does find a miss on these really awkward anti-aim sections. You can just see how much of a struggle those are to hit, but I mean, look at the lead already. This is a pretty short map as well, obviously, we're already a third into the map. ozbert, 76% accuracy, not something you want to see on your own pick. And I mean, barring some heroic, miraculous, you know, just the AR8 goggles flipped on, and he breaks into the matrix, it's probably going to be impossible to come back at this point, as well. Box looking pretty good here.
Yeah, taking a look at the accuracies especially, we got 98% ac on this versus an 81. Yeah, this is very, very much a matter of comfort on this AR8 with this intense density, rhythm changes, aim control.
Okay, how did Box just SS that 1/3 section with unbelievable UR? I was staring at his UR bar as he did that. That's the Ackman difference to get through that really awkward rhythm. And it's just going to be the miss on that one anti-aim pattern as he FCs the rest of the map. Well, yeah, FCs the rest of the map, 640k. Definitely a mispick by ozbert. Maybe he thought Drox couldn't really play something like this, but clearly he could.
Yeah, 640k on this, that is insane. I didn't think that this score was even possible, but that's going to be a break point on on Osbert's third pick, I believe. And now, if you're a secret box, you have 2 more picks to go. And I'm taking a look at that DT3 at 300 BPM and thinking, like, I can play 300 BPM quite well. And Aussie banned Nomad 2 and DT2 into me. So, could that be a pick? Maybe.
It's interesting because I think let's see what it goes for. For most tapping kind of players, I would normally agree, but I do think Box is a bit of a unique case in the sense that his stamina, 230 around those ranges is unbelievable, but at 300, I think it's definitely less comfortable than some, a player like Aknz, for example, who'd eat that map up, but goes with the hidden 2. So obviously just absolutely crushed the rating in Nomad 6, clearly extremely prepared, had a great time there. Picking the other reading map, this time approach rating 9, so not as low, but definitely more awkward, hidden as well, so you have a lot of perfect stack reading. But, I mean, the fact that Box didn't ban this almost certainly means he's pretty well practiced.
Yeah, for sure. I can see this map being a lot more rhythm focused and seeing similar results to that Nomad 6 that was just picked, being a very, very tough accuracy battle, which I believe does favor Box by quite a lot.
I mean, yeah, with how he's been playing, the Ak demon he is, almost will win any Ak battle. Both players comboing this early section, which already means both players are obviously practiced. You can see a lot of these awkward patterns. The AR9 does make this a lot more playable. If this was AR8, I can't even imagine how hard it would be. But ozbert, I mean, there's some magic here if he can combo game, if he can hold.
Yeah, right now it's just an Ak battle, but Box breaks and ozbert is holding, so could this be the one break? Because this is a pretty short map as far as I know.
Yep, 227. So on the shorter end, especially with, you got, King Gizzard and Lizard Wizard Hard Rock 1 over 5 minutes. But ozbert still comboing around the halfway point now. And obviously not doing too well on the accuracy, but that doesn't matter if you can hold with that early Box break. And just get the combo gaming inside of you as he has a 30k score lead right now around the middle, so you do not want to miss here. And he's just absolutely combo gaming.
Yeah, that lead is so fragile right now. The moment that ozbert breaks, we know that scoreline is going to fly over to the other side just based on the Ak difference on score v2. But it's looking like ozbert not gonna break. Sorry about that.
Oh, no. I was gonna say, after that Nomad 6, you'd kind of think, maybe not feeling it on the reading of this matchup, but obviously not as AR9, but still just crushing these unbelievably awkward patterns. This map, by the way, with the new hidden SR changes, almost 7 stars, just because of the mechanics, really. So factor in the reading. Absolutely brutal as he's still full comboing, and now I think even if he misses, I don't think Box can take this back as he's recovering perfectly from that earlier break, but ozbert is giving him no room. Can ozbert end this hidden 2 with a full combo? He's going for it, does find a miss unfortunately, but I think he's done enough as he break points the one and only asecretbox on his own pick.
Yeah, I was questioning that Nomad 6 pick, but maybe ozbert just really, really low rolled that Nomad 6 because this hidden 2 performance is really, really solid, especially considering that's basically a full combo and, well, minus the choke. But yeah, that's gonna open a lot of things up, I believe. Now, if you're ozbert, what do you pick next? I'm actually not sure.
Yeah, I mean, there's really no reading left, nothing gimmicky, low approach rating like that. The reason about that too is Box didn't play that badly. I mean, if you ask Box before picking that map, do you think a 630k would win you the pick? He'd be like, oh yeah, almost certainly. But ozbert just crushed that one. And in one pick.
Oh yeah.
So ozbert soul read, imagine. I mean, honestly, I think yeah, I think one of these aim maps, one of these more comfort picks, I think are kind of the place to go where Box can get a silly break anywhere. ozbert picking for the hidden one, so bit more awkward, obviously, than the Mod 1. Still aim focused, but AR 9.6, 221 BPM. He's got a lot of these awkward aim patterns. Because ozbert needs to hold in this last quarter for as long as he can, and he still doesn't even have the score lead just because of Box's obviously phenomenal accuracy, but it's going to slowly move towards his side. How much of a clutch gene does he have? His combo game before in the World Cup for New Zealand. A very tough map to do it here against Box, as he finally takes the score lead, and how far can ozbert go?
Yeah, I think he has to full combo the rest of this map in order to take this point. And it's looking like he's probably gonna do it, but... And yeah.
Hits the 100 still, 10k score in the lead, any break can flick it, but I think that might be the end of the hard parts of the map. As ozbert pulling off a heist, obviously not a breakpoint, but still takes that breakpoint away from Box and just clutches it in the ending. 2 miss, once again combo gaming, accuracy doesn't matter. It is a combo game. As he asks how to act right after, I like that. I like that question and getting your opponent's head a little bit. As you know, a matchup that I think a lot of people going into this might have thought, oh, Box, you know, harder pull, he's seed 1, he's gonna absolutely crush this matchup, but 3 points for ozbert now, and off the back of some just really, really good scores. These aren't really boxed chokes, as it is ozbert is playing really well here.
Yeah, I also want to point out that Secret Box on that last map got 0 100s and 4 misses, I believe. So if you were to ask anyone if a 0 miss play would somehow lose, then I don't know. But we're going into this No Mod 3. It's an alt map, I believe, and I don't know who to favor. I want to say Box is favored on alt, but I think this is to the point. This point of the tournament, which points can go either way, I believe.
I think both of these players are pretty good at alt, as Box just gets a massive chain miss there. Enjoy that note lock. ozbert, pretty good alt plays, had some pretty great alt performances before. This map, very mechanically difficult, a pretty big step up from last week's number 3. Pretty straightforward alt map, just obviously really difficult on the spacing and the consistency. And man, ozbert, he can build some momentum here. If he can manage to go into a breakpoint, then that would even up the match. That would take us 4-4. And he has that early chain miss from Box to help him out here. Is also really good on the accuracy. And man, ozbert is just showing that for a lot of these maps here, he is not at all skill capped by this difficulty. Still holding on.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and both players get through this Ki section, and gonna be ozbert with the small combo lead at 44k, and whoever breaks, the other player is just gonna get a really nice lead, but both are holding quite nicely, and this could be anyone's game.
Absolutely, this is a really, really good showing from both players. But ball is in ozbert's court as he finds his own chain miss to trade the earlier chain miss on the intro from Box, and now he'll quickly take the lead as long as he holds a little bit longer. And it's going to be up to him.
This is halfway through, so ozbert is going to get score capped on this map, unfortunately, and it's looking like Box is heading in after these spinners and into the easy section with 980 combo to his name. And
yeah, with that second ozbert miss, I was gonna say, Box manages to find the break here, ozbert could catch up, but now it's been very tough as both players hit those wiggles. I think ozbert misses right at the end, but that's such a difficult pattern. Box getting through it, the early mid strat working in this case. He is on a reverse choke right now. I think there's like 10 misses at the beginning, but still technically a reverse choke. It's really one missing that causes the misses.
Absolutely. Secret Box has now gotten a 250,000 point lead towards the last 8th of this map, and it's looking like it's going to be finally his point on the board.
He will not let this match get too out of hand, as a breakpoint here from Ozzy would have tied things up. As he's still going for that reverse choke here. Can he take it all the way to the end? 99% accuracy now, despite all the misses in the beginning. I think his 100 count is going to be phenomenal once again. Maybe not exactly 0 100s like we saw in the hidden one, but pretty close. As there we go, 880k in a really good performance from ozbert on Box's pick. Very commendable showing, but tough to beat that scoreline from Box.
Yeah, this is 7 100s on this map from Box, and a 500k score from ozbert's very, very respectable. Would have probably beat almost any other player. It's just, what do you do when you're facing off against the #1 seed and overall favorite to win the entire tournament on something like this?
You don't have much wiggle. I mean, for reference, we were in the previous 2 matches. We've seen this map be picked both times. This would have beaten Drox's score, Hayley's score, Hugin's score, but not Dumb Andy's score by a bit. So obviously, a very, very competitive scoreline from ozbert. It's just, that Box score might likely well be the score of the week for that pick. Here we go. ozbert picking the DT3. And I kind of like this pick because I honestly think if you catch Box on a bad tapping day, this is the kind of map he might be less comfortable playing. And ozbert, honestly, pretty solid at the higher BPM tappings. Not sure for the star rating. This will be a bit of a test for him, but if he has the combo gaming in him, you just got to mash through these bursts and you can make some magic happen, as he's done a couple times already now.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Ozbert is basically the king of combo gaming his way, even with lower AC, into a player like Box. And this DT3, sitting at 300 BPM, I can see all sorts of chokes and misses happening from either player at this point, but we're going to get right into it, and both of these players being really solid tapping players, I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, 300 BPM for this one, so pretty high up there. A lot more burst orientated than last week's CT3, which had a good amount of aim consistency with a pretty burst heavy ending. And this one from the jump, got plenty of triples. I still have to dial in on the aim, as it is 300 BPM, so pretty fast snaps. But a lot more burst heavy as both players so far. Pretty good on the intro, but Box showing the accuracy once again. ozbert, though, pretty comfortable, and you know, we've seen this happen a couple times. An early Box miss here, and suddenly things can go awry. But none yet.
Yeah, first quarter of the map, and both players are still holding on to the FC.
Really solid stuff here.
It's going to be another instance of that Nomad 3 where the first person to break at this point of the map is just going to have the score flying in the other direction, and who that's going to be, I don't know.
And now the AC game, with some AC drops from Box, actually being won by ozbert by a small amount that could obviously go away, but there's just no way this comes down to an AC battle. Decently past the halfway mark, both players are still full comboing, and this is over 8 stars, by the way. Like, just the raw mechanics, the speed required, the aim as well is no joke, and obviously the bursts are the real test. And ozbert, man, he's doing it, but Box is going to be right there if he finds a miss, but neither player budging.
That is so close right now, and we're three quarters of the way through, and still neither player has broken. We just have AC drops, and this is literally just going to be an AC battle towards the end. Neck and neck.
ozbert, some shakes in the aim, but he's holding, and there's barely any map left. He'll win it if he holds the combo and the AC lead, but it could go any moment. It's still this 8 score. Does he actually do it? He does! He wins the DT3 against a secret Box, as we see a double FC on an 8.2 star map. What a absolute showing from these guys, as ozbert takes it 4-5, going into the last pick of the match, Box's pick. But man, what a performance from ozbert here.
What did we just see? A double FC on an 8.2 star map, 300 BPM, and now we're going into Nomad 1, the final pick before the tiebreaker between those two players. This map is the least likely to be a tiebreaker, but we've got Nomad 1 picked by Box, and this is the last map, and I don't even know. Oh yeah, fun fact, that play was literally Aussie's top PP play done in tournament on that DT3.
Just absolutely demonic from ozbert. As Emrek asking, are the DT3s too easy? I don't think they are. I think they're just built different. And ozbert, maybe a little bit of a, rank D-ranker, you could say. But man, as we go into the Nomad 1, which is an interesting pick for Box here, because if you lose it, obviously goes right into the tiebreaker, and that would give your opponent a big momentum swing. Now, obviously, this tiebreaker is very tech heavy, so it's obviously not 1-1, but going for the aim consistency, and this is quite an aim test. Despite triangle being the diff name, obviously has some triangle jumps. Honestly has all kinds of jumps, a lot of anti-aim as well.
Yeah, this is just going to be the ultimate aim consistency test. I see some linear aim, as you mentioned some triangle aim, but this is another one of those combo game maps where I can see Secret Box getting a really, really low 100 count on this, but it's just a matter of if he misses, and if so, where his misses are going to be.
And so far, it's just that break early on, and we saw ozbert beat Box on that hit and won. So he's won against Box on aim before. And man, a lot riding on this. Box probably thought, going into this one, seed 8 shouldn't be too much of too tough. Maybe next week is when things will get really tough. But he's now, still up here. He's still up a break point. But you lose this pick, you're now suddenly 5-5 going into a tiebreaker, having lost a no mod once. A lot of pressure riding for Box as he finds a miss in ozbert. Iron blood, cold-blooded as he's hitting these big jumps, but he has to hold on for a lot longer if he really wants to get a big lead here. So he's dropping some 100s. It's not going to do a great thing for his score lead, but still FCing on the 7.6 star aim consistency map. Big verticals, hits them all.
A quarter of the way through, and Ozzy is still holding on to a full combo, I believe. And through this, going through the entire Ki with 700 combo and a 57,000 point score lead, this map is crazy, and Ozzy is looking like he's gonna get a nice, comfortable lead.
I mean, I'm just, my jaw is agape, I am stunned. The level of play that ozbert has been showing is just not normal for an 8 seed. He has been popping off, does find the break, has accrued a decent lead though, 80k in the lead, so Box is going to have to hold on a little bit longer, hits the massive square, the full screen square, and he's looking for this comeback. ozbert finding another miss, and that's going to make the comeback happen faster for Box as he hits that entire section, all the big square jumps. In a more quieter part of the map, he's looking for this comeback, he does not want to let it go away to tiebreaker.
Yeah, absolutely. I was talking to Ozzy earlier about his qualifier's performance, and he said that he thinks he underperformed, and I can see why, because if you're putting up performances like this against the #1 seed, even though you're about to lose the combo and score lead, you put up 4 points against the #1 seed, favor to win, as the seed 8. That is absolutely crazy. But it's looking like Secret Box is going to take back that lead, and as we get to the last quarter of the map, and yeah, unfortunately for Ozzy, he's just not able to hold during the latter part of this map, and it's looking like Secret Box is going to just eke out that 6-4 win over Ozzy.
I mean, Box just absolutely dialing in at the ending. Had some struggles early on, but did not let himself miss again as he's cruising through this 650k scoreline. Does find a break there, but man, really, really good effort from ozbert in that intro. Obviously, was on pace for maybe an insane breakpoint once again, but there we go. Box, as the seed 1, wins the matchup 6-4, but man, what a showing from ozbert. Did not fail to entertain, especially with that double FC from DT3 winning on AK. And man, with that performance, I would be afraid to be ozbert's opponent in the losers bracket, who seems like going through will be
gonna be Hugin.
Wow, so that's gonna be a New Zealand versus New Zealand matchup, which we're gonna see, by the way, in like 10 minutes against Psyche versus Emil Bus. But man, really, really good match. Really, really strong showing from ozbert. Did not let that match be anywhere close to one-sided, as he almost took us to tiebreaker. But GG's to Box. He'll be moving on to verse the winner of Maybell Zintex. So that's gonna be a fantastic semifinals matchup. And GG's, I think that's going to be it from us, from Vordy and Statlord. I think catch us in 10 minutes for the next matchup. Atkins Poyuto. That one, yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys, and we'll see you in Atkins Poyuto in, I believe, 10 minutes.
Hey, hi, how are you doing?
Hey man,
How you doing,
good
bro?
to see you.
Good to see you. Alright, so today we have our global rank 35 player Akins, who will be taking some questions today. How do you feel?
I feel good.
That's good, that's good. Alright, first question we have here. What do you hope to achieve in the Oceanic Cup and why?
So in the Oceanic Cup, I hope to at least get a top 3. I'll be pretty satisfied with just that, but I do want to aim a little bit higher. I do want to try to get a top 2, maybe even a top 1. But I know that there's going to be some pretty tough opponents. I know it's going to be pretty hard to even get top 3. So I'm just hoping for the best.
How did you get into OSU?
So back when I was in around, I think, year 7, back in 2021, I was playing a lot of CSGO with my brother and his friends, and eventually one of his brother's friends put me on this game called Osu. I thought like, okay, well, I'm playing CSGO anyway, it might help me with my aim, the classic, and then eventually, like, I saw the ranking system, my friend like tried to push me more and more, like, every day. I was really enjoying the game. And yeah, that's the rest is history.
Talking about history, do you think Australia can win OWC 2026?
I think so. I think we've had a pretty good chance for the past 2 years, even maybe even 3. But of course, it happens. This year, I'm looking really hopeful though. We have some insane additions to the team, some insane returning players. The names of like the likes of Zintex, Drox, is a new and up and coming player. We have some crazy talent brewing. I think it's gonna be a good year. I think this is probably the highest chance we've had to win an OWC. I think we can really bring it home this year.
Yeah, I do agree. We can definitely win OWC 26. Unfortunately, I had some heartbreaking chokes in OWC 24 and 25, as a lot of people should know. Losing 6-7 in both matchups, but yeah. Anyways, unfortunate stuff. Who is your biggest rival in the Oceanic Cup?
I think my biggest rival is probably asecretbox. I can't lie. I have a lot of history with him. I remember like even our first match against him. I think I got 1/6. It was a little bit rough, but he's just been so consistent all of these years. Just the cornerstone of Australian OSU, and like he's just been my biggest op all of these years as well. He me in my first tournament, and he's continued to do so for the next couple of tournaments. But with each year, I think I shrink the gap a little bit more and more, and I think eventually I'm gonna be able to bring it home. But it's gonna be tough. It is going to be close.
What's one thing you think people underestimate about you as a player?
I think that a lot of people tend to underestimate me internationally, but there is definitely some overestimation as well. I'm looking not that good at speed anymore, but hey, I can put up a pretty good fight on a lot of skill sets now, I think. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I think I'm fairly properly rated. I'm not too good, but hey, I'll play.
Hey, all I'm gonna say is Akins over here has a tendency to just underestimate himself. In OWC, all he would do was just be like, no, you guys play, I suck, I'm gonna get 200k, and then he would just FC out of nowhere. As experience as a player, so definitely don't underestimate him as a player.
That's LARP.
It's not LARP. It's not LARP. Look at all the OWC bots you will see. You will see. You will see.
Alright, welcome everyone to this quarterfinals match between Aknz and Poyuto. The highest seeded Aknz seed 2 versus Poyuto seed 10. Now we do have a very interesting match on our hands tonight. Obviously Aknz being more of the skill cap player, but Poyuto being very proficient on that gimmicky tech sort of style, and this I think will be a very interesting match. Now you are joined by myself Lust and Mabs in the booth too. How are you feeling, Mabs?
Oh, I am feeling pretty good, Lust. Yeah, as you mentioned, should be a fairly interesting match. Obviously, a clear favorite going into this one is going to be Aknz doing very well in that qualifying round. I think across all the maps that both these players did play in the qualifiers, Poyuto only won on 2 of them, I believe, being Hidden 2 and No Mod 3. So there's a couple picks already that I think Poyuto is probably going to be looking at, and I don't think that was just based off the qualifier scoring. I do believe in terms of Poyuto's skill sets, he's looking at things like that No Mod 3, potentially something like the No Mod 6. These hiddens look good for him. So that's going to be probably pretty obvious. Aknz, of course, going to be wanting those mechanics, going to be wanting those double times, be wanting anything tapping speed. Is going to be really good into Poyuto. He should be a very clear favorite on those. So fans, gonna be, I would say, pretty standard here.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too surprised if we see, DC2, No Mod 5 ban from Poyuto, and then maybe a Hidden 2, whether it's No Mod 6 or another Hidden, I'm not too sure from Aknz, but wouldn't be too surprised if that is our bans.
Yeah, we'll have to see here as we our rolls, and ban's gonna be coming out here in a moment. Here, Poyuto first to ban. So yeah, as you said, should be something like a DT2, DT3, potentially a No Mod 5. Be very... Or DT1 actually also could be an option, and he does go DT1. I was just about to say, Aknz is like a monster DT1 player, just like always. Also at, that higher approach rate, something you might not be very comfortable reading at this stage if you're like a hidden ult player. So get rid of the DT1 also makes sense. Poyuto not too bad on the tapping himself. Actually can sort of play tapping. Did quite well on tapping in qualifiers. Rank 10, rank 11 on some of those double times. So yeah, just get rid of the high AR.
We do see Aknz going for that No Mod 6 and actually Hidden 3 as opposed to the Hidden 2. But kind of what you'd expect from those bans, and Poyuto now choosing that DT2. Again, sort of what you'd think what would be coming out. We are going to see that Aknz first pick though.
This just leaves, for the tapping now, we're just leaving up the high speed in that DT3 slot, and also our, No Mod 2, No Mod 5 are open, so No Mod 2 not going to be as much of a stamina check as something like a DT2, but that's an option there for Aknz to go into, and then No Mod 5 being speed is probably going to be a very clear pick. And yeah, that's going to be the first pick here coming out from Aknz. No Mod 5, straight into some speed.
Poyuto definitely demonstrating last week against Superior. He did actually FC Soldier Inductance, which was the No Mod 2, but that was sort of a more stamina, higher BPM pick. So obviously very proficient at this tapping skill set too, but you are coming up against the beast that is Aknz, one of, if not the best speed players in the OCE region. A very scary player to come up against in this skill set, but getting right into this No Mod 5.
I believe this comes in at about 256 BPM, and it's only 2.5 minutes long, so not too much in the tank for this one. It'll be more of a speed check, not too lengthy, not going to be too hard on the endurance. Weirdly, we're seeing the map being... I'm seeing the map being played on stream, but I don't actually see it being played in my POV right now.
It is working correctly for me.
Okay, I don't see the map, so you take that.
Aknz hitting 100 now, but is definitely, decidedly in the ACK lead at the moment, up nearly 4% over Poyuto. But still seeing that, actually, unfortunately, Poyuto did miss that one. Aknz is very handily in the lead, almost 100k above at the moment, and just looking far more comfortable than Poyuto on this pick. Should sort of be expected from his first pick. He's going to want to take that. He does find that break though. And now the combo advantage is in Poyuto's field, but 100k score to climb at only the halfway point, already looking very dire.
I am in here. My stream froze, so you're locked in. Yeah, the combo advantage now heavily in Poyuto's favor, especially for such a short map. 2.5 minutes only, as I was saying. So this, 300 combo lead is actually really huge. But obviously that accuracy Aknz has, 99.5, is just far cry. Just in a way, higher than Poyuto's here. But there's so much combo on Poyuto's side. Can he actually start to pull this back? He is slowly taking it back. This is looking worrying for Aknz's first pick. 50k in the lead, a quarter of the map left. I think with the combo scaling, this might end up going over, but no, not with that miss. Not with that miss from Poyuto. It was so close to the ending. But I think that miss will probably seal it. Even a miss from Aknz here. Just the accuracy, I think, is going to be too much.
Aknz building that massive combo to bring it back to boot as well, leaving no chance for Poyuto to even try. And he will be taking this one fairly decidedly. His first pick, already 140k and growing. Now going to see that Aknz victory. 170k on his first pick. Definitely a good way to start the match. And what you want to see, to actually see an S rank coming out of Poyuto as well. 2 misses from Aknz, but that accuracy just majorly in the Aknz department.
Actually, a little bit heartbreaking for Poyuto there. If he was on track for the FC, if he managed to get the 96% FC, it would have been enough to win that point, and it just gets the slider break. Yes, even says in the chat, how did I S rank? That's my best score, man. Yeah, I mean, just match buff sometimes. Come out on the tapping, kind of go crazy. Don't have any pressure on a map that you're not expected to win by a long shot. You're not expected to win tapping into Aknz in this scenario. So don't really have any nerves, and then you just kind of go off. Happens sometimes. But back over to Poyuto's pick now. Not the worst thing in the world. Did not lose his own pick or anything. But it's important here to convert early, especially going up against number 2 seed in the tournament. Someone like Aknz, such a strong player, you need to get a point on the board here. So what is he going to be going for? Middle 2 is an option I'm looking at. Something like no mod 3 is an option.
Definitely a good option, but Aknz, a lot of people don't know Aknz is very much a sleeper demon when it comes to this lower AR hidden. So we're not going to see it. I guarantee you we'll see a decent goal from him there. And we are going to see that hidden 2 come out.
Yeah, Aknz pretty honestly proficient on almost every skill set. To be fair, obviously a couple of those skill sets, more unconventional ones, he's going to be less strong on than those raw mechanics and that tapping. But you can play them. So yeah, not a free win by any means, just as you're saying. Poyuto though, probably going to be favored going into something like this. It's very, very proficient hidden player and very proficient on that low approach rate. Did have the number 3 overall score on the hidden 2 out of qualifiers, only being beaten by is it Pala, and then I think it was who was second on that?
Maybe was it asecretbox? Or was it false? I thought it would have been.
No, it was asecretbox. It was asecretbox.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking, I know that Fault got like a really good, one really good score, obviously, in the qualies. But yeah, was not number 2 on the hidden 2. But here we go. This map. Oh, I actually do recall playing this map in a Australia State Cup a few years ago on no mod instead. This map is really brutal to read. Very, very heavy reading check here, especially on the hidden. Going to be fairly dense, a lot of weird overlaps and just awkward rhythm changes. And both players are finding misses early on here. Ak lead heavily in favor of Aknz, but we'll have to see if that switches up.
Yeah, that score advantage just going to Poyuto by 40k now and growing, because he did have a few early misses Aknz compared to Poyuto. So Poyuto is decidedly in the lead at the moment, but still only about halfway through the map. Still plenty of time for it to swing either way. And that Ak on Aknz' side with that slight combo advantage is going to slowly start to bring that score back.
Oh, and that miss from Poyuto is one of the worst spots he could have found it. Halfway through the map. However, this map does have several really awkward patterns you could just find 5 misses on back to back. But so far, players are handling this section quite well. Poyuto's trying to build up the recovery, but Akins, it just won't matter if he continues to hold this combo now. And with good Ak as well, almost 97%, 600 combo closing in on it. Akins is shredding this map, exactly as you said, doing so well on the low AR here.
He's absolutely dominating this one, which is not what you want to see from Poyuto. 97 accuracy, and he just has this huge combo to boot. There's nothing that can be done now from Poyuto. And Akins, in the final stretch of the map, is just going absolutely beast mode at the moment.
Yeah, I mean,
he's gonna take this one so comfortably.
Something, you know, does find the miss right at the ending, unfortunately. I think that is like the hardest part of the map. And then a couple perfect sacks to close it off. You know, a hidden 2-slot this week being AR9, which is something we didn't really mention either. It's, you know, still low AR, especially with the density on this map and the overlaps. Very, very difficult. If you're not a good hidden reading player, you're still really going to struggle on the AR9 on that map specifically. But, you know, the map being AR9 maybe falling into Akins' kind of ballpark a little bit. Maybe a bit more comfortable on an AR9 map over an AR8 map. Not that he wouldn't have had a chance on AR8, but, you know, probably something to keep in mind. Maybe why he played that so well. Takes that map convincingly, and now Poyuto has to bring him back, and it's DT3 is the great pick for Akins to go for the 3A lead.
Yeah, this one, I mean, I would be very surprised if we didn't see a very high AC FC from Akins here. And Poyuto, again, not a slouch on that tapping, but this is 300 BPM, so it is definitely far more of a tapping check than that No Mod 5 was. And could be very scary if you're in Poyuto's seat here. You've just lost the first speed pick, you've lost the breakpoint, and you're going into another speed pick. Have to try your best here, but you're going up, again, you are going up against Akins, who is known for this. The man with over 3,000 plays on Ascension to Heaven. This is his comfort BPM and his comfort style of mapping, so... yeah.
Being a last speed map here, 300 BPM as he said. Only 2 minutes, 20 seconds, so fairly short as well. Highest star rating map in the entire pool, actually, 8.2 stars. Have to see how these players handle. My stream keeps disconnecting last year.
We do see that Poyuto miss coming out very early. There's 94% act down as well. Akins is holding comfortably 98.5, still holding that FC, and already 40k in the advantage. We get to about a quarter of the way through the map. Poyuto's bringing back that accuracy now, but is down quite a large amount of combo. And this map, not the longest, so you do need to hold whatever combo you can. Akins, super comfortable, absolutely shredding at the moment. And again, still, both players holding that combo now. But Akins bringing that lead up, 90k now, nearly 100k in the advantage. As we reach the halfway point of the map, it will cross 100k. And Akins still holding that FC. Poyuto's bringing that accuracy back nicely, 95.4, but he is down. Still going 130k. He needs to hope for an Akins miss soon. If we don't see that Akins miss, this is going to be pretty decided. Fairly early on in the map, but
it's looking like here Poyuto still has a chance, but it is really, really short. Akins gonna have the miss here, as you said, pretty much right about now, maybe just in this section in the next few seconds. Doesn't look like he wants to let that up. Poyuto with a big combo on the board though, doing very, very well on his opponent's picks, especially on this tapping, holding his own against Akins, but just seems to be too strong, too consistent on the speed. Into a bit of a speedier section here, 300 BPM and a couple longer bursts. This is definitely a test of your speed. As you can see, Poyuto falls on one of the longer streams, and Akins will run away with this pick. Poyuto, a valiant effort though.
I believe Akins SSing 2 of those longer streams as well, doing very well. And he's gonna pretty decidedly take this pick again. Doubling the score of Poyuto. We are going to see another FC on DT3. That is, I believe, is that the 4th FC from this weekend?
I'm not sure.
Something
I know
like that.
ozbert. I believe ozbert FC'd this one in the last match. When we see an Aknz
ozbert,
FC
and
here,
then
and then I'm not
actually,
sure.
Kyujin didn't FC, did he? Slider broke within the first 20 combo.
That counts.
But we'll count that one. We'll count that one as an FC. And Aknz is now up 3-0. Now, what do you do when you're poyuto here? You just lost your hidden comfort pick. You've just lost 2 speed picks. What are you thinking? Maybe you try and go for the no mod 3 here. And maybe try and squeeze out a point, but scary stuff.
I mean, it's got to be somewhere in maybe that no mod 3 or no mod 4 slot. You could go hidden 1 as well, just purely based on the hidden comfort. Matchups like this, man, are so tough for the player in poyuto's position because you don't really have any weaknesses to pick into against someone like Aknz. You just only pick your strengths and hope for the best. And that's what he's got to continue to do here. Really, he doesn't have much other choice, so... You know, number 3, number 4, hidden 1. Maybe he surprises us with one of these hard rocks. Maybe he's solid on the harder 3 this week, but I would expect one of the former 3 picks to come out here for sure.
Thinking about this one, and it is again very much a difficult one to choose, but he does go for that no mod 3, as Mabs and I were saying, and that is kind of a last-ditch effort here. If he doesn't win this no mod 3, there's not really much that he can do against Aknz. You have to hope he can take this, but
yeah, I mean, this one's so important to win for him because if Aknz does take this, at that point, I don't know if there's even... Like, if Aknz wins this map, I don't even know if there's 5 maps left in this pool I would think poyuto could even win against Aknz at that point. So, like, you do need to take this. It's so important to get this one on the board. And then you've still got no mod 4, you've still got hidden 1, maybe you get a break point on, you know, Aknz no mod 2 or something like that. And then there's still hope. But losing this one is going to be put poyuto in a really tough spot. This one's so important. This was the other map, though, in the qualifiers, that poyuto did beat Aknz on, the no mod 3. poyuto actually was number 3 overall, and Aknz having a little bit of a struggle on it, number 10 in the overall, which still isn't bad. No mod 3s generally can sometimes feel a little bit, I don't want to say RNG, but they're always super consistent, and you can sometimes find a bit of a random miss somewhere in that halfway point. So we'll see, that could happen here today as well.
yeah, I feel no mod 3 does tend to be a bit more of a gambly pick. There's very often you will see, you know, an accidental miss on what seems like nothing, because this ult style is just very brutal in that sense. Or if you even slightly miss aim, even a little bit, because it is so spaced, you will just find a miss on, you think it would be nothing, but we are seeing right now a double FC from both players, 99.2 and 99.1. We're losing a little bit back now for poyuto, but both players looking supremely comfortable on this.
Yeah, but there goes poyuto on the first difficult DI. Aknz still holding, not what you want to see if you're a poyuto fan of the chat. But there's still time, as no mod 3s tend to go. They are usually quite long, and this one is no exception. Only 1/3 of the way through the map. poyuto with another reset, but still time here. Aknz is going to have to find a miss, potentially somewhere around this halfway point, if we want to see any sort of comeback. Otherwise, this match is going to be looking like dire straits for poyuto as we move through the slow section. Every bit of free combo here is going to help Aknz along, and we will approach the halfway point here.
Yeah, Aknz still holding that FC 110,000 points up. He does need to find a miss, and now if poyuto wants any chance to come back. But I don't know if we're going to see that. Aknz has been looking incredibly consistent this whole match. And poyuto just, unfortunately, is being outmatched on all of his picks.
The only slight slip-up Aknz really had was his very first pick on the no mod 5, where poyuto had that potential to steal that breakpoint. But other than that, he's been looking so clean, so solid on all of his picks, on his opponent's picks too, so far. And here we go into another very difficult section. Some of the spacing, some of the snaps, some of the control required here. You see, the players are both handling it well, both very proficient on this skill set. It's 1-2 section, they both get through it until the very ending. Poyuto actually missing on it, and Akins is going to be taking the map. Still FCing. That section is very brutal to see both players hit it. It's extremely impressive. Akins, the question is, can he close the FC out now? Because this map is done and dusted.
Yeah, absolutely. Akins taking this in incredibly convincing fashion again. And this is really, really tough for Poyuto now because I don't really see another point that he can take against Akins. He did have the potential on that hidden 2 and that no mod 3, but Akins has just completely outclassed him, unfortunately. Over double the score of Poyuto already. And he's still FCing. Could he bring the FC home? Do we see it?
Be a really impressive full combo. Not gonna hold ya. Still going into the very final section of this map. 1700 combo and counting, 99.35% accuracy. Akins looking like he's gonna close out the no mod 3 FC. Man, what a score! I mean,
What a score!
Just
What a score.
FCing a no mod 3 in a match is already it's pretty hard a lot of the time because oh wait, he missed at the start.
Did he?
Oh, I forgot he missed at the very start.
Did he? I forgot as well. Oh no.
No. Okay, it counts. It basically counts.
Let's call that an FC.
He literally missed in like the first 10 combo. Like it's 986,000 score. Like I can't. Regardless,
let's just call that an FC.
It's basically an FC, which, as I was going to say before I got jump scared by the A rank, very impressive to even FC a no mod 3, I'd say, in a tournament setting, because the maps are, you know, usually they're quite long, usually they're very consistently difficult, so just getting an FC on a map like that already is it's very impressive. And there's a couple super hard sections in that map. That 1-2 section was so brutal. Really good score from Akins though.
Being that DT4 picked by Akins, which is, yeah, kind of what you would expect here with that DT1 banned, that DT3 picked. Kind of gonna see it, a DT4 and then a DT2 from his, if Poyuto takes a point, which I don't really know if we will see, but Poyuto does instantly miss at the start there, I think. Yes, he is down 3 combos, so he did find a miss on the very first 2 notes, unfortunately, but that accuracy is a bit of a struggle for both players, down quite a bit, the pair of them, but they are going to start building that back. Akins and Poyuto back to 94% already. But Poyuto finds a slider break again, still early on, so not counting him out just yet, but finding 2 breaks before Akins has found any is not what you need to see, and he does find another one again.
I mean, Akins is tearing this one up as well. Dare I say, if this map was like AR10 instead of AR10.3, I might even favor Poyuto on this, but the problem lies in the fact that if you're banning out the DT1 because you're not comfortable with 10.5, I don't think you're going to be comfortable with 10.3 on such an awkward, gimmicky map like this with such weird reading. The 10.3 aspect for Poyuto, I think, is what's getting him here. He's not able to just string these combos together because of the reading aspect, and it's just how it goes. Sometimes these kind of maps, it's such a good map for you to play, but that approach rate's just a little bit too high. I think that's what's going on. Akins still holding this FC, and Poyuto just unable to string together any sort of combo.
Yeah, Poyuto definitely not that far behind in the act department. He is able to play this, but as Maz was saying, just that complete struggle to hold combo as he does find another slider break. If it was on laser, he would definitely be a lot closer in the score department, but Akins 400k versus Poyuto about 160k, just wiping the board with him at the moment. Still FCing Akins as well, just looking supremely comfortable on this.
Man, the misses from Poyuto just... Oh, Akins does drop the FC. It won't matter, of course, with the amount of misses Poyuto has had. It hurts to see the misses from Poyuto because I have this exact same weakness when it comes to these kinds of maps. I can just see the high approach rate misreads from him constantly on these patterns. Just unable to get anything going. Akins does miss again, but yeah, I mean this is already over double the score, and this one is more than over. We could be looking at a 5-0 lead here, or is it? Wait, is this 6-0 already? This is
5. No, this will be 5. I can confirm the reason Akins is missing is I am looking at the VC he's in right now, and there is about 5 people spamming the go live button. So I believe his eardrums are being blasted at the moment. And
Atkins getting trolled here a little bit. It's an inside job, but it won't matter because Poyuto unfortunately can't play this map. So, you know, Atkins boys kind of trolling his FC, dare I say. But this does win that one by a mile, regardless.
Yeah, seeing match point for Akins, potentially the last pick of the map from Poyuto. And dare I say, don't really know what he has left here.
I mean,
I don't know, maybe he tries to RNG a precision pick, maybe, but...
Yeah, I mean, you could even go no mode 1 if you wanted, but I'm thinking, in terms of, you know, if he's playing it by the books, no mode 4, hidden 1, I don't know, it really can't really go anywhere else. You've got Hard Rock 3 on that sort of polyrhythm, but I don't really think you want to pick Hard Rock into Akins right now. Let's go hidden 1, go no mode 4, or take a gamble pick, go for a no mode 1. Maybe, as you said, maybe... I would like to see Robot stop play. Can we see Robot stop? No, we're going to see hidden 1.
That is that O/ map. O/ himself coming out of Australia. And actually, one of the players that was in contention for making it into the top 16 for TOC, but unfortunately unable to do so. But we do get to see this hidden 1 is a very cool map in my opinion.
O/map. Love to see it. I mean, I like this pick. Stick to the guns here on the hidden mod, but go for something a little more gambly at the same time. You know, comfortable and hidden. Hidden 1 is going to be a little gambly here for players. You know, it's going to be just again an aim check, but some awkward aim in here should go well for Poyuto. I would say this should be a decent pick. See if you can get a point on the board here. I got faith.
We are going to see getting us into this. Poyuto has missed actually finding that combo break as well. I was going to say he missed a few slider ends as Akins is still FCing, but Poyuto has found an early combo break. Akins still holding that SS 200 combo in. This is going to be really not what you want to see for Poyuto. Finding that break. He's down already, nearly 30k score.
Yep, but it is still early days. Accuracy in Akins' favor, but that could change at any moment really here. And there it is, a miss from Akins and some of the awkward aim, cross-screen aim there. So Poyuto handling this first PI a little bit better, potentially, but don't curse him through the tail end of it. He's still going with this bigger combo, so we'll start to pull things back over. Seeing a flicker here shortly. Maybe if we do see the flicker, I believe the first time this match we've maybe even seen Poyuto in the lead. Is he gonna get it? There it is!
I
He
believe
does take
so,
the flicker.
yeah.
There it is.
Poyuto just has to keep holding here to maybe squeeze out a point. Hopefully he can. He needs to keep holding though. He does have this combo event at the moment and it is giving him that score lead, but Akins has that huge AK advantage. Only one miss and I believe 100. So Poyuto really has to try his best, but he does find that miss. Unfortunately, that is going to send the score massively straight back into Akins' favor. Really not the spot you want to be missing for Poyuto at the halfway point, and that is unfortunately going to cap his score.
Yes, the repeated anti-aim patterns coming in, catching Poyuto off a couple times there, but Akins handling it like a beast. There's some linear anti-aim as well, but yeah, Akins handling this well, and Poyuto to miss again. I was about to say, maybe if Akins was to miss here shortly, there'd be a chance, but Poyuto missing again and again. I'm not too sure if that's going to happen. 80k in the lead and building. Akins looking to close this one out in a 6-0 fashion through this ending. And some of those patterns are very brutal to get through. Poyuto falling on multiple of them. Akins just handling everything. And it looks like we will be seeing a 6-0 sweep here, Ross. Akins does lose the combo, but man, what a match from him.
Unfortunately, Akins too good for Poyuto with all of that skill cap he does have. He's going to take this in a fairly convincing 6-0 fashion, and that will be... He did win against Superior, so he's not quite out yet. But Akins, again, his second sweep in a row, 6-0ing last week, and now 6-0ing this week as well.
GG's to Akins 6-0, currently 12-0 in the tournament. First against Sayo, now against Poyuto. And yeah, as you mentioned, Poyuto will be moving down to the lower bracket, still in this tournament. You know, of course, I think the worry for Poyuto moving into these later stages is going to be when the skill cap increases, but he's still got a shot in this, I would say, in next week's matchup, where he's going to be going down to loser of 15. Let me check who he's going to be versing. Loser of 15. I can't find it. I don't know. The sheet doesn't have L. Oh, it's I don't know. Sheet does not have L15 on it. I have no idea. There he is. He's right there. Okay, he's going up against the loser of 16, which is going to be the loser of Pala and Kloppin, which is a banger. That's actually a really good matchup.
That's going to be a very good match. So.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites of the week. I think Treyarch Zintex and Pala Kloppin are probably my favorite matchups of this week. But yeah, the loser of that match, which is not great for Poyuto either of those players. So good luck to him moving forward in the tournament. And Akins, of course, will be moving on in that winner bracket. Number 2 seed, so we'll be going up against number 3 seed, I believe, in the semi-finals, which will be the winner of Pala Kloppin. So number 3 or number 4 seed. Winner of Pala Kloppin will be his opponent. But yeah, that will do it for us for now. Any final words, Lust?
Very good match, and thank you everyone for coming. Now, Mabs and I will be back in about 30 minutes for that Psyche Emelbus match, the incredible New Zealand matchup. So make sure you keep your eyes peeled and stay tuned for that one, but we will see you in about 30 minutes, so don't go anywhere.
See you then.